Hey, how the hell's it going, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Two Sushi Rolls Podcast. I'm your host, King of the freaking Castle, Jorge, and I'm here with my lovely co-host and wife, as always,
Leslie, and I'm the Mama Bear.
And welcome back to another live episode of our podcast, now that we actually got things going. Quick little announcement before we get anything else started. And that would have to be, first of all, our YouTube is finally up.
Yeah, I've worked on that
And,
for hours.
All right, so why don't you tell me a little bit about it? What's going on with that?
So we finally got a YouTube page up where you can listen to our episodes on YouTube. It took me a while, but I was able to get the audio up on there because I know a lot of people, we have a lot of platforms, but YouTube's the big one that we didn't have. So we're at Two Sushi Rolls Podcast. All of our previous episodes are up, and this one will be up when we're live on all the other platforms.
Yeah, so anybody who's actually been on the show before, we do ask you guys to, give us a little bit of love. If you've been on the show, go to the YouTube page, subscribe, give at least your video a like,
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. Just continue the love. And we also want to thank our month sponsors. Go ahead, Les.
So this month's sponsor is actually Home Cut Donuts. We just did a photo shoot there with Cindy Martinez Photography. And, we talked to the owner, and he allowed us to do our photo shoot there. And he's our sponsor for the month.
Right.
They have 2 locations in Joliet. They are located at 815 West Jefferson in Joliet. And then the second one is 1317 East Washington in Joliet. And our photo shoot was the one on Jefferson.
Yeah, that was. And guys, like before, just please, continue to show the show love. And by doing that, you could, also go and give, some of our sponsors some love. Make sure you guys go to Home Cut Donuts in Joliet if you guys are ever in town.
The freaking amazing donuts. Amazing donuts.
You remember our late nights we used to go and take over there?
Yeah, like 3 in the morning. And I worked what was it? Like a 7 to 3 a.m. job or late job.
It was a late job, yeah. It was like a third shift is what you call a third shift,
Yeah,
right?
something like that.
Yeah.
And we would go there after I got off of work because I'd be really mad.
Yeah.
After work.
Yeah, whenever she had a really, 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 really bad day, that was like usually when we ended up doing it was, we'd sneak out to Home Cut Donuts like at 3 in the morning and get us a nice little fix.
And it was amazing. It was awesome. It was empty. Oh my gosh.
It was really cool. And it was actually really cool that now that we actually got the show and it's doing really well, that we were actually able to, go to
do a photo shoot there.
Yeah, at one of our little locales.
And if you want to see the pictures, we'll be doing a little bit of sneak peeks here and there on our Instagram, so don't forget to check us out there.
Right.
Two Sushi Rolls.
Yeah, and like we said before, please go to our YouTube channel, give it a subscribe.
Yeah,
it's brand new. Give us some love.
Just subscribe to it. Like, you don't have to like all 25 episodes. At least subscribe.
But if you want to,
if
subscribe,
you want to,
go for it. That'd be awesome.
We would appreciate it.
All right. Well, today, as it so happens to be, and this was not planned this way. It just so happened to land that way, right? Like we're trying to be wholesome, and here we are, ending up in this situation. Today is 420, ladies and gentlemen. If you didn't know, you've probably been living under a rock. Today's 420. So for today, I guess, so to speak, I wanted to actually do something, and I wanted to show you all this product that I ended up finding. It's still on a Kickstarter, all right? And what better name to call it than the Highball?
And now, I've never seen this before, so I'm in for a mystery.
They call it the Highball. That's literally what it's called. Like, I'm not even joking around. Like, this is what it's called. So here, hang on. Let me pull it up real quick.
You gonna pull it up? He's doing everything by himself. He's king of the castle, producer.
I'm the king of the castle, video producer,
audio producer. He's everything.
Football playing astronaut, so as my brothers like to call people who are multi-talented. All right,
we're pulling it up.
All right, guys. So this product I ended up finding like a few days ago, and I found it so crazy. and you guys are gonna see what I'm talking about right now. This guy created, I guess he considers it a toy. He's a retired toy maker,
Yeah.
and he created this in retirement. And well, I'll let him tell you a little bit about his product. There you go.
Hi, I'm Jim Becker. I'm a retired toy designer, and as somebody who likes a joint now and then, I always thought it'd be cool.
He likes a joint every now and then.
When you're high. That's when I created the Highball. This is an electronic game with lights and sounds that you can immerse yourself in, and it's totally fun when you're high. But I realized something was missing.
Hi there.
This would be my daughter, Lila, who also...
He brought his fucking daughter into this product. I mean, this product literally is for when you're high. Like, he's like, I'm like your average guy who likes to enjoy a joint every once in a while, and it's like,
Okay.
okay, you're an old man, cool, whatever. You look like you've been to Woodstock. If I don't sound so rude by his age, right? But then it's like a little surprise. Here's my daughter. She enjoys one as well. She enjoys one every once in a while as well.
so happens to be a product designer, and she made a big improvement to it.
When I first saw the ball, I thought it was really cool and stuff, but I thought, how can I win?
She said, how do I win, right? This means this guy is a retired toy developer, right? He created a toy without, like, it's a game. He said it's a game. It's not even a toy, it's a game, right? And she's like, well, how do I win? This guy was so stoned, he created a game where there is no winning. It's just like, that's how high you were? Bro.
So basically it was a ball of lights.
Yeah.
And he was like, look at this game, like, to his daughter.
And she's like, how do I win? And he's like, I think you're on. I think you're onto something. I think you're onto something. I mean, that's pretty silly.
That's when I knew we needed to create a game that would keep score.
And
So
maybe
now
you
we have
to lay
two
off a
modes,
joint when
high
you're inventing.
and really high.
High mode is a game that keeps score. When the game starts, all 12 panels are random colors, but only one side is red. Your job is to turn the red side up before the timer runs out. If you do it in time, the high ball will pick a different side to be red, and each time you have less and less time to turn the red side up. And just like a video game, as you play, the levels get harder and harder. But if you don't get the color to the top before time runs out, you lose.
After
So basically, this is like the modern day of that game Simon. I don't know if you ever got to play, where like you have to remember the colors. And stoners also played that back in the day.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, this was like a what? I don't want to say even the 90s. I think this thing it was in the 80s, since the 80s. I want to say it was called, I believe it was called Simon, and it like had all these different light up squares, and you have to remember the pattern every turn. So this is like a modern day Simon, basically, right?
Okay.
But I love how like the shot was like all these people inside a room. There's all this smoke.
They like totally
You know?
hotboxed the room, like
And,
completely.
like the director was like, all right, so I need you guys to act like you guys are playing this game, and you just went into really high mode, which is what they're advertising the game. There's high, it's high ball, and then there's really high mode. So I mean, they were like, you just went into this mode, pretend like you're doing that. Look, there's Cheetos.
Look, there's Oreos and chips. Oh yeah.
I never once hung out with anybody. Now I don't know if that's because I'm missing out, but I never had a table with like Cheetos, like.
Oh yeah, you're right. There's Cheetos all over
Yeah,
the table.
It's like, oh, you're high, you're messy, you're a pig, you're a slob, you eat nothing but crack. You're like, okay. All right, let's see what.
After a nice session of playing with the high ball in high mode, it's time to chill and relax in really high mode.
Oh, look, really high mode. Damn.
I created the high ball just for fun, but like getting high, it's way more fun with friends.
So I thought
Or your daughter.
the world definitely needs to see this. And that's where Kickstarter comes in. So join the highball community and back this project now. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, so
That was. How did you find this?
I ran across it on Facebook. Facebook just they know what you're looking for sometimes. Although I was not looking for this whatsoever. So we'll give you guys a little bit of info just in case. It's 420. You're interested in this for a future time, right?
You got those friends.
You got those friends. Here, let me go to it. Their Kickstarter is Highball. They're by High Concepts. And they already got $6,000.
Yeah, I'm pretty surprised.
They almost got $7,000 of their
$10,000
goal. That's all it takes to make a highball, guys. Is $10,000. Could you not spare a dollar?
Now you're promoting it.
Could you not spare a dollar?
We should just get one for the show, unironically, if they reach it.
Oh my god. I don't think this technology costs more than $2 to make. I'll be honest with you.
I'm not too sure. I don't know.
If you pledge $30, okay, or more, what is it? You get one highball.
Okay, so it's like a $30 thing.
Yeah, a custom highball stand and a micro USB charger. All right, so it even comes with a stand, so you can put it on a pedestal if you really want to. Well, guys, if you guys really want the highball, go ahead and
find them on Kickstarter.
Find them on Kickstarter. Help them be funded. That's a wild thing, right?
Yeah, that's crazy.
But I ended up finding that.
All right.
That's what I ended up finding.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, so we wanted to start doing a little bit something different. We wanted to do something called the video of the week, right? We want to grab videos throughout the week and kind of, get them popping on the show.
Get them popping.
Right? But today we have a special video, which it might not always be like this, but...
It would be cool if it was.
Yeah. So we got this friend, right? And why don't you tell them the story about this video that we want people to react to?
I don't even know where to start with. We have this friend. She was watching one of those, like, home flipping shows, on that HGTV. Mm-hmm. And they said the price of the house. And she and her mom heard two different numbers. Well, her and her sister heard one number, and her mom heard another number, the price of the home.
And we don't want to tell you guys the numbers just yet. We're gonna have you guys. We have a few people who we're gonna have on the line, and we're gonna have them here and tell us what they think.
An unbiased. We're not gonna tell you the two numbers that were heard. We want to know, and she wants to keep tally, because we heard what the mother heard. We didn't hear what our friend heard.
Right.
But she's trying to keep tally. So I don't even. Should we give the hint that she said about the?
What the number is?
No, like the accent or just.
No.
Okay.
We're gonna leave it at that. We're gonna let them hear it, and we're gonna take tally, and then we're gonna bring it right back to her, and we're gonna tell her this is how many people heard this, and this is how many people heard that.
And we'll post what the number she heard was.
Yeah, and we'll post it on
Facebook.
On Facebook later today.
Yeah. So.
We'll keep you guys in the loop. But we wanted to get some people on the line. Why don't you go ahead and get...
Who should we call? I got 3 right here.
Get the first person on the line.
I hit a Facebook post by accident.
Get them on the line immediately.
All right. We're calling. I don't know but I don't know how to work this. Right, audio producer.
Here you go.
All right, guys. We're calling.
Hello? Hey, how's it going? You're on the show right now.
Hey, how we doing?
Pretty good. All right, so we're going to show you this video, or we're going to let you listen to it, all right? And we want you to tell us what's the number that you hear, all right?
Do you got a pen that I can write this down? All right, I'm going to write down.
All right, we're going to get it ready for you. Yeah. Which one is that?
All right, so go to Facebook.
This one?
Yep, and then on the bottom, I should have my name, and then play it. You're going to have to turn on the audio. Yep.
There we go. All right, tell us what number you hear.
All right.
So, this house is actually $295,000. What? So, this house is actually $295,000.
How much did she say the house was worth?
I couldn't even hear it.
Really? All right, here.
Try it louder.
Where are you?
What? So, would be nice. This house is actually 285,000.
Did you hear it this time?
No, I can't hear it at all.
Jesus Christ. All right, well, this is going to be some new...
We're still trying to figure this out.
All right, so...
I don't even know.
What I personally ended up hearing was 2,000 and 9,800, right?
Yeah, I heard 298,000.
All right. Now, their mom allegedly says that they hear a completely different number. Well, in the show, they ended up saying it was a completely different number. So we're going to end up finding that out. Sorry that you couldn't hear that.
Yeah, that's poopy.
No, it's alright.
All right. Well, thank you anyways for taking our phone call, all right?
Thank you.
Grace, y'all have a good one.
Thank you. You too. All right. So what's the number that you think it's actually going to be? What did you personally hear?
I heard...
Because when I told them what I thought I had heard, they immediately were like, oh, that's what I thought. And they were kind of like, going back and forth on what they thought it was going to be.
Yeah, our friend said like, why? And her mom was like, woo! Okay, what I heard right now is 298,000. That's what I heard right now.
But it's not that, though.
No, and what... Should we say the hint now, or should we...
Yeah, go ahead and give them the hint.
All right. But our friend says, like, she has a country accent, so you kind of have to listen a little bit harder. And when I hear it on these headphones, I can kind of hear the other number, I think.
I don't. I still hear the same number.
Can you play one more time?
Okay.
Play one more time.
Whoa. So, that would be nice. This house is actually 285,000. Whoa.
It's kind of like 285,000. I think that's what she's... I can kind of hear it.
I don't know. I don't hear that.
So, that would be nice. This house is actually 285,000.
Oh, hang on. Now I'm hearing something else.
Yeah, now I keep hearing...
I'm hearing like 285.
Now I'm hearing that too. Oh my gosh.
All right. I really want people to know what the actual
number was.
Because it's extremely crazy. Because it's completely different, right?
I'm going to message her right now, and if she happens to reply within the episode, I'll announce it.
All right, well, we're going to move on from that for right now, since we're having a little bit of the caller issue right now.
Yeah, we even tested it, but we're still learning.
Yeah, we're still learning this whole life thing. It definitely isn't as easy as I guess, what we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
Yeah, but
really...
like getting the mixers and the mix minus.
He's everything. He's the video producer, audio, like he's doing everything. So...
Yeah. All right. Well, I wanted to show more videos of the week. I really want to get people's, reaction on a few other things, such as this. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
All right. So, let me get that pulled up. Yeah. I'm gonna do this one first. All right, so there's a really popular song on on the airwaves right now, which is, what is it, babe? It's called "Old Town Roads," right?
Okay, I was about to say I don't know the name.
Okay, the name of the song is called "Old Town Roads," and if you haven't heard it already,
you're about to hear it right now.
You're about to hear it right now.
A beautiful remake.
But this guy, I feel that white people are evolving. What do you think about that?
Yeah, this video scared me. It made me realize where we're at.
Where we're at. White people are definitely evolving. They are able to functionally be able to breakdance. They've incorporated country music into it. That's also going a little bit towards the trap kind of hip hop side of it. And then we got this young man.
I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. Got the horses in the back. What's that to the tax? Head is ready black. Got the boots that like to match. I'm gonna take my...
What is happening?
Oh, for you podcast listeners who can't see the video, what is he? How do you even describe it? He's like spinning on his back.
He's doing it's like that old school break, like it's like the number one thing. Like if you ever wanted to break dance, this was the move you were trying to learn, right?
It's like what every white boy at lunch would do in high school. Like they'll be doing that.
To the old town road, I'm gonna ride till
Look at
I
that, he's
can't
counterbalancing.
no more. Got the horses in the back.
I
What's
bet.
that to the tax?
How does he do it for that long?
I don't
That's
know.
what I'm amazed about.
The crazy thing is that the way he's singing, you know he's out of breath.
Right? He sounds like he's struggling so hard.
He's working vocally here. He's working his body. He's working all of that.
They're evolving.
They're-
That's scary.
They're evolving. They're starting to twerk.
And like the caption, we're not even paying attention to it.
They've officially moved away from Fortnite dances, and they've evolved from Fortnite dances. Like
No.
it's no longer the floss, you know.
Or I don't even know the other one. Or some justice.
But then again, there are people who are still doing Fortnite dances.
Our kids.
Our kids, and not only them, but where's that one at?
It's the Facebook one.
This one?
Yeah. There we go. You. Oh gosh.
Oddly, I only love my bed and my mom.
These guys are still doing Fortnite dances.
Oddly, I only love my bed and my mom.
If somebody like this came up to you, what would you say about it?
I'd be so mad.
Those guys, their faces were blurred out.
Where?
The guys before this, their faces were blurred out. That means that they came up to them, did this, and at the end of it, they were like, "Hey, dude, it was just for a video. You mind if we use it?" And they're like, "Fuck no." They're like, "Ah, that's fine. We'll blur your faces out." And he's the one who tweaked out the most. Look at him. Look at him.
Oh shit.
Look at him. They're fly. Look at that.
He had the coolest reaction though.
He had the coolest reaction, but remember what I said? I said this guy was so not about to look like a little bitch flinching. He's like, I don't care if I get my ass beat, I'm not about to go down. I'm not gonna go down flinching. He was cool about it though, at least, right? I just came here to buy a blender. I'm about to get my ass beat. What is that he's got? Blender? That dude swung.
He was red.
He was with his girl. He's like, I gotta swing, dude.
That dude starts running. That was the funniest one.
That's crazy.
And for you podcast listeners, what's going on? I don't even. What is that dance? What is this one called?
I don't even know. It's like what is it called?
It's the one. No, that's not the one. It's the one where like their fist comes out. I don't even. I should have done my research
It's
on
like,
what dance this was.
It looks like a fist bump or like they're pumping their fist in the air. Yeah.
But basically they walk up to people and start. It looks like they're about to punch them. Basically, they're about to give them a fight, and all these people flinch. But then they end up just start doing all these different Fortnite dances. I don't even know how to describe it. I would feel if my Fortnite lingo was a little bit better, I'd be able to say this a lot better.
Yeah. All right. So then I found another video. All right. This one involves this little girl, right? Because little kids are all making videos nowadays, right? Including our kids, right? They love making videos.
Yeah.
But what if, like, I know you had only an older sister, and by the time she was older, then you were born, so it's kind of like you were an only child,
Yeah,
right?
that's how I grew up.
But imagine you had a younger sister,
Okay.
all right? And one day you're going through her phones, going through her stuff, and you realize that one day she tried recording, you know, a video trying to be funny, you know, playing with helium, you know, out of balloons, to try to make your voice sound silly, right?
Right.
But things went awry, and she kept it, all right? Well, here's this situation right here.
Oh my God.
You don't need to save it to your imagination. I got it for you right here. So this little girl's trying to make a video, and look what ends up happening. You don't think that's funny?
I mean, this girl.
This little girl, I'm sorry, but when she passes out, it reminds me of Schmeagol. Is that his name from Lord of the Rings? He's like, "Ah."
It's the noise that gets him every time.
Here we go. She tries to say, hey. That was like the. Oh
like
my.
all that rushed to her head at once.
Dude, I mean, in all honesty, right? In defense of the balloon with helium, she took a big ass huff. I've never once.
She had a whole balloon.
That was a whole balloon.
That was literally a whole balloon sucked into her.
Yeah, like that's it, right. So helium is way lighter than oxygen.
Right.
Right. Which is why these
changes
right
her voice and everything.
So that's why but she just took in a whole balloon. That balloon probably holds the capacity of both her lungs. She's so little. So she just replaced every bit of oxygen in her lungs with helium, right? I'm surprised she didn't fly away when she fell down.
Oh my God.
Like, that's why I'm not worried if she got injured or not, right? I'm like, because at first I was like, what if she got hurt, right? Because, I'm a dad.
Right.
I'm not.
Or human,
We're human. And I was like, oh my God, did she hurt herself? But I don't think so. What I honestly think happened was right before she hit the ground, she stayed kind of like floating a little bit, She just kind of like stayed there. Her head never hit the ground because of all the helium in her.
Oh.
Of course she hit the ground.
I don't even know where you thought you were going with that.
Of course she hurt herself. One more time.
Oh my God.
One more time, please. Please, I have to.
That poor girl.
So how did I react the other day when I first saw it on my phone?
He would not stop laughing at the noise she made when she fell. Like right before, the second that she did before.
She said, hey.
And then she goes, huh. and he was laughing and I didn't really get it. I still don't to this.
Oh, my goodness.
This poor girl. Because as kids, I think we all do something stupid like that.
I think we all do.
She just happened to get it on
yeah.
recording.
Oh my God, if my parents knew half the stuff that I did as a kid. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even know how I'm alive today. I'm not even going to lie. There was a lot of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
How are we still alive? I hope I'm not the only one.
No, you're not. Because I think a part of being a kid is taking a lot of risks. And that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's literally the whole thing. I mean, my dad would fall off of like 3-story buildings.
Yeah, shit happens.
And he's still very much alive.
Yeah,
so.
but see, the thing is that my generation grew up from, if I got hurt, my parents would get mad that I got hurt.
And then whoop your ass.
And then whoop my ass. So it was all, and like as a kid, it was a double-edged sword because it's like, don't go outside and play and get hurt because then you're going to come back inside and get hurt even more because your parents are going to whoop your ass.
Yeah, I didn't grow up like that.
I did, and I know your dad did too. I mean,
my dad definitely
I
did.
mean, what happened when he fell off the building? What ended up happening in that story? Let's see.
His dad would whoop his ass, or like once he fell off a building, because he fell off multiple buildings.
Uh-huh.
He once fell off a building, and he landed on a glass bottle that was on the ground, and it went to his leg and everything. Like it was terrifying. And his neighbor.
I think this is in Cuba, right?
Yeah, this is in Cuba.
Communist Cuba.
Yes. And he was like a little kid. He had to be like maybe 7, 8.
Right.
And his neighbor, who was a doctor, ends up seeing him. He carries my dad to his dad, my grandfather, and my grandfather told the man, "Get your hands off my son. Fuck you."
But why?
I don't. My dad even says, "I don't know. My dad was just an asshole," and that's all my dad mentions. That he was swearing at the neighbor for carrying him to my dad.
I mean, I won't lie. One time when I got injured, my dad got mad too, but he didn't go out and tell the neighbor like, "Hey, why'd you do this?" He was mad. He's like, "But now I look like an idiot because you busted your shit. The neighbor had to, tend to you medically, and now I look like an idiot."
Yeah.
I think that was the situation that had happened in my case, at least, so to speak.
Yeah. Whenever my dad tells that story, he just says, "And my dad was an ass for no reason," to the other guy who was helping my dad.
Well, stuff like that does tend to happen in Hispanic, I guess.
My dad once was running and he fell and he bit his tongue and it was like hanging off. You can actually see the mark where his tongue was put back together.
That's disgusting.
And you know what? I got hurt a lot as a kid. Like I have stitches in 2 different places.
Right.
From being a kid, and like I always just got back up. I was like, "Oh no, I gotta go tell my parents," because they wouldn't whoop my ass. So I'd be like, "Oh no," and I'll tell my friends' parents, like, "I gotta go back home," and they're like, "Are you okay?" So, yeah. I go home and I'll be like, Sonia, my sister,
Uh-huh.
I gotta go to the hospital. I need stitches. But like, I'll be like 8 years old, telling my sister that.
Ay, ay, ay.
And I think I got that from like genetically my dad being tough, like cutting his tongue off and shit.
And you're like, now I have to be tough. It's in my genetics.
It's in my genes. I have to get 42 stitches. Tough it out.
Tough it out. Spit on it, throw some dirt on it, whatever you have to do.
Yeah. Where did we even go from? How did we get to this conversation?
Oh, it was
From the girl.
from the little girl getting injured. Of
But
course.
that's like a less injury.
Oh, before we actually go into that, I wanted to actually go into actually giving a congratulations to somebody who actually listens. He's one of our fans from Italy. I don't want to say his actual name. I'm not sure if he'd be okay with that. But he is such a talented musician. We've told you guys about him in the past before. If you haven't heard, his name is Stream Air.
Stream underscore air.
Yeah, Stream underscore Air. And congratulations to him. Some really great stuff for him that I really want to share with you guys. He actually finally reached 2 million streams. And I believe that is from his
Spotify.
From his Spotify account. He's got almost a million. Look at that.
That's awesome.
So he's got 925K fans. He's got 91K hours of actual listen time. And he's got people listening to him in 65 countries.
Wow.
In 65 countries. I really wanted to give him a shout out. Congratulations. I really do hope he continues to do a great job with this music.
Listen to him on Spotify, guys.
Definitely go to Spotify and check out his music.
If you're studying, relaxing.
Yeah, his music is perfect for studying. It's perfect for just relaxing. It's also good if you're fucking feeling sad and you need something to kind of just like,
Yeah.
Get into,
Your feels.
I don't even have to, get into your feels. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Everybody's done it, right? No matter what kind of music you listen to.
Right.
But his music is perfect for that. He's a great artist. Clearly from his numbers, I'm not alone in, having this opinion. He's an extremely great artist, very talented guy, man. Continue to do the great work. And, thank you for also helping us, man, because he was one of the first people when we started the show. We were like, oh, we either have to get, music that we actually got licensed to actually be able to use throughout the show.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to get in trouble. We're like, we either need licenses to it or permission from people. And we had originally found him through, I believe it was SoundCloud. We found him through SoundCloud. And we fell in love with his music.
Yes.
We're like, oh my God, this is so awesome. And we reached out to him. And to my surprise, he immediately was like, of course, you could use whatever song you want. Hell yeah, any exposure for, which is really cool because sometimes people who are in the industry, they'll try to get a little something out of it. They'll be, how much you're going to throw them,
Yeah, but that's understandable, too.
It's understandable, but sometimes people need to remember that every artist is coming from, ground level at some point, and, you have to be supportive at some point to one another.
Right. And he is.
Exactly, and he is. He's one of those people who actually was like, of course, use my stuff, put it out there. And so next week we're going to be featuring one of the songs I really want you guys to hear. We're going to be opening up the show. We've opened up the show with other songs other than our usual intro, like
Fruit Salad.
Fruit Salad Trap Remix by, the Wiggles and stuff, right?
Yes.
And
Bernie Sanders opened for us once.
And Bernie Sanders did open up for us. He let us know about a few political things. You guys should go back.
Top 1%, what they're doing to us.
Go back to the R. Kelly episode. It's exactly how it starts. Bernie Sanders opens up.
And we had Kanye, too. We've got a lot of people.
Yeah, but definitely check that out. And please check in with us next week so you guys could actually see some music that we're going to be featuring of Stream Air. Yes. I wish I could call him by his name because I just don't know if it's okay for us to say it or not. But I do have him, have him on Facebook with his private account. But yeah, really, really great job that he's doing. I I really hope that you, yeah, great style the man's got, you know. Yeah, definitely go to his to Spotify.
Yep.
Give him a listen. Follow him.
Stream_error.
Exactly. And that's one of the main people that I really did want to give a huge shout out to, man. Congratulations to that. I couldn't even imagine how that would feel like, you know, to be like, man, my music has impacted this many people, you know.
Yeah, that must be an awesome feeling.
I mean, I grew up, you know, doing a lot of, you know, music and acting and theater and all that stuff. And, you know, you do get that taste of it sometimes, you know, with an audience. You get a taste of it and you love it, and it is like a high. Kind of like how we, you know, our show right now, you know, we don't do it necessarily to feel better or anything like that, but it does feel good that, you know, sometimes the stories and the goofy shit, you know, we talk about here, you know, is making somebody's day, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's the best part about it. It's just being able to entertain, you
Yeah.
know. So yeah, congratulations to you, man.
It's always a good feeling when like your friend messages you and you're like, "Hey, that story about the stall is hilarious." I love that.
Or when you have, you know, a friend who gets stabbed in the neck by his gay lover.
What?
That's always interesting. We hear a lot about that.
What about that?
Well, he was going to call in, and unfortunately, we're having all these technical issues with the call. And we were actually going to have two other listeners who were going to call.
Sorry.
It could have just been your settings on the actual call, to be 100% honest with you, because early.
We fixed it before the show.
But who knows if it, you know, kind of just, you know, reset itself. You know what I'm saying?
Because when I pull, it's not even showing. When I pull this up, it shows on the other camera, so that's why.
Yeah, well, if you actually like go to your settings on an actual message, it would probably show you the settings. But we're gonna try to get this stuff refined for you guys.
Yeah,
it is not an easy task.
No, it's really confusing.
It's really confusing. There's a lot of wires. Here, let me see if I can show them a little bit. Here.
No, because we're gonna. Oh, it's this camera. No.
You said no. Let's not do.
Don't touch it.
Yeah,
it takes us forever to figure this out.
Look, there's a lot of
wires.
A lot of wires and a lot of stuff that goes into all of this. So it's not easy, guys. You know, but
see, now we gotta adjust the camera.
We're good. Yeah, but you know, bear with us, guys. We're gonna try to get more of these live calls, you know, sometime in the near future, and
yeah.
You know, it sucks that she couldn't hear us. That really sucks.
Yeah.
And we're already kind of having what do you call it? Those technical issues with the volume and stuff.
Yeah, and
because we're running a multiple PC thing here, and it's so annoying.
Yeah,
This
it's so confusing.
Yeah, I wish we could get our producers back sometimes, but at the same time, you know,
a qualified one.
A qualified one would be better, you know.
Yeah, and they can actually help. You know. Yeah, and you know, we actually got a wire in the mail today. I don't know if that would have made it.
That wire is definitely gonna probably make a difference. A great difference. Yeah.
I don't know what it does. I'm literally I sit here and I talk into the mic, and George does everything.
It's difficult because if you don't do things the right way, they're gonna end up getting an echo. You know.
Yeah.
It gets bad.
I know.
It gets bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I got the YouTube page up though. So.
Hey, you know what though? You actually do have. We could actually use that real quick. Can we actually Can you go onto the Spotify and look up Stream Error? There's a really nice song that I actually wouldn't mind throwing into the show today.
Let's see if it opens up.
Exactly, and there's actually. And there's actually.
So it didn't work.
Nice.
Technical errors.
Fantastic. But some of his music is like, it's perfect for just overall just like relaxing. But I'm not gonna lie, I like the emo aspect of it. I really do.
That sounds like you.
I think we could actually have something from right here.
It's only the second post I see what music.
Was it?
Yeah.
This one right here?
Mm-hmm.
Some chill stuff, you know? Yeah, there's a specific song that I really just want to be able to play.
We're gonna pull it up next
Yeah.
week.
One thing that I also wanted to bring up as one of the topics for today is actually, as you guys know, I do stand-up comedy, and I started to write a bit, right? And I don't mind talking about it a little bit on the show right now, just because of the fact that I feel it has a lot of resonating stuff with what's happening nowadays, right? And I do really want to talk about it, right?
Okay.
It definitely has to do with the stuff you guys have been seeing on social media about servers not being tipped enough, right?
Correct. I see that a lot.
And I'm left kind of in the middle a little bit, right? Like in my in the bit that I was writing for my stand up, you know, I kind of played around a little bit with it. I kind of poked fun at it. But in reality, you know, joking aside, it leaves me kind of split in the middle because it makes me wonder, have people just become completely disrespectful to people in the service industry? Or have people in the service industry become a little bit more entitled about, you know, their job? Which do you think it is? And like I said, I'm not going to give my opinion on this. I just want to bring up facts. If you go to a restaurant and you're just one of those assholes who really does not like to tip, that's definitely an issue.
Yeah, fuck you.
You know, these people, you know, they are working a job. I do understand, you know, they could be working any other job, and I understand that, right? But they just so happen to be working this job. That doesn't mean that they don't deserve to be paid, period, right?
Correct.
I personally like to tip well when we go somewhere. I think that's one of the things that my father always taught us growing up was you tip well. My dad's a great tipper. I don't think anybody in my family doesn't tip well.
No, you've
You
always
know?
tipped well.
We have gotten, as you know, our friend Anthony would say, a few stinkers here and there, right? There's been a few servers that have been stinkers, and
I just want to clarify because
go ahead, yeah.
servers, like, I understand that you can have a bad day, but then they would, like, take it out on us. Like, they would start acting really rude, and it's like, we didn't even do anything.
Right.
And that's where I'm like, yo, that's rude. Like, because you see on like, Facebook how, you know.
Yeah, they show a little bit of entitlement, right?
Yeah, and it's like, they don't, like, I understand bad days happen to everybody. Please
Right.
stop being rude to other people.
Yeah, and it's true, and I understand that, you know, your social media is for you to go vent however the hell you want, right? And that's fine, right? But the thing is, you know, it gets to a point where, have you seen any other profession that you see publicly humiliating by degrading people who they are serving as a job, their customers, right?
Right.
There is no, and if there is, it's very little. But I just see it coming from servers a lot, where like they'll be like, oh, you know, this person, you know, they put a lot of people on blast, right? We don't know how your service was. We can't, you know, go off and, you know,
Have one side of the story.
one side of the story, because like I said, we've had a few stingers. I know how things work. You know, we've had bad service plenty of times, right? And what I talked about in my joke is that, you know, imagine, you know, you have your doctor on social media, right?
A doctor.
A doctor, your doctor, specifically your doctor. Let's say you have, for whatever reason, you have your doctor on social media, right? And you see him post, tip the bill. What? You know? Or what if, you know, you're on social media and you see your doctor, you know, posting up something like, you know, oh, you know, this guy ruined my day because he made me give him a prostate exam. Wasn't even trying to do that. He was my last patient of the day. He ruined my day. You know, like.
Yeah. Or like, imagine like a school teacher being like, you know what, kids are so fucking annoying. Like, this one kid in my
Right.
class is a brat. You'd be like,
Whoa, right?
what is wrong with you?
Exactly. So that's, and I understand. And in my joke, I also clarify this. I understand a doctor gets paid more. It's not the same thing as,
Yeah.
you know,
Being a server.
right. And I understand that there's women out there who may be working towards a bigger goal, and serving right now is, you know, it's what's paying the bills. And I respect that. I 100% respect any hustle done cleanly and responsibly, whatever, right? But the thing is what I'm talking about is that it's very disrespectful to see people who may even soon, like, they're people from your town, they're your friends, right? And they're going to be serving you one day, and you're seeing that they're completely disrespectful. They'll bash whoever the hell that they want.
Yeah,
You know?
and that's a little bit like, I feel like that's scary. Like,
It is,
because
yeah.
people like would be like, we fucking hate when people bring kids into a restaurant.
Yeah,
So is that
right.
what servers are thinking every time they see me and my daughter sitting down at a restaurant? They just hate me automatically.
Right.
And it's like, I clean up after my daughter. I can't pick up every little crumb.
Or
but
people-
like,
yeah.
that's a part of working in a restaurant. There's messes.
Or people, you know, who come, they complain about people who come in and make special requests for certain foods or whatever. Like, you know, I understand, you know, there's a little bit of humor where they kind of, like, you know, dramatize what probably actually happens. But at the end of the day, it's like,
Some people are like 100% serious.
serious, like,
about hating them.
That there's certain things that I can't eat.
Right.
So I have to make sure that that's not in there.
Yeah.
You know, there's certain things that I need to make sure are not going to be in the dish. That's not because I'm trying to be hard on you or ruin your day. It's because I'm trying to make sure that I stay healthy, and you know,
Yeah.
and that's part of it. So I want to hand off the question to you guys, which is, you know, what do you feel about that? You know, do you think that it's because people have become bad tippers, or do you guys feel that servers have, you know, become a little bit more entitled? I really want to pass that question off to you guys. You know, leave it in the comments. Let us know what you guys think it is. And again, we mean no disrespect to anybody who's been a server. I at one time worked a serving job when I was a kid. You know, I've talked about it before. At the time, I was still in high school, and the girl that I was dating at the time, you know, she had gotten pregnant. And the first thing my dad said was like, you know, you got to go out there and figure out some way to make money, because that's how this works,
Right.
you know. And I'm sorry to say it, you know, but I got a fake ID and I went straight to work.
Yeah.
You know,
And you were a server.
and I was a server, and I'm not gonna say the location I was working at, but I was a server, and I do remember living off of tips. The thing is I always made extremely good tips. I was able to be a young man and be able to fully support myself and my child at the time, and yeah, I mean, I made great tips, but I treated people good. I treated them with respect. There was never an issue, like, and if I was in a bad attitude that day, or I was having a bad day, I was able to tell by my tips. Like, if I wasn't able to fully recognize, you know, consciously on my own, like, hey, I'm having a bad day and I'm being a dick a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
You'd notice it on your tips.
Right.
But that would just make me kind of like next time be like, hey, you know, I'm gonna try to do a little bit better. I'm not gonna let it get to that, you know.
And it's like, I do see other professions have jokes. Like
Right, of
dentists have jokes being like, do you floss? But they're not
Right.
telling, this patient's breath stink, fuck you.
Right.
Like, you ruin my day whenever. Like, I'm pretty sure they think that.
Right.
But they're not publicly stating it.
Right. And I'm sorry, but a lot of the people who complain the most, they're like people who are like career waiters or career waitresses who are complaining, right? These are people who, like, that's majority of all their jobs, right?
Right.
You don't have to be a waitress. You don't have to be a waiter. I really don't want to sound like a dick, but I mean, you could choose a completely different job where you don't have to worry about, you know, human to human interaction. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The reason you do it is because you know that if you're good to people, you make really good tips. On a really good day,
Yeah.
you know, a really good day consists of how good was your attitude, not just how, you know, how empty. I remember working as a waiter, and it was a day where, like, there wasn't a lot of customers. And I did such a bang-up job with the tables that I did have, the few tables that I did, that I occasionally ran into that customer that was like, oh, man, here's a nice fat tip.
Yeah, and it makes it like.
And
worth
it makes it worthwhile. It's like, oh, well, it was a slow day, but this customer, I treated him so well. Yeah, I ended up breaking even.
Right. And like, I've had jobs where I hated, like that third shift job. I hated.
Those third shift jobs, yeah.
I hated that job. But I was never on Facebook being like, I'm smashing all your packages. How dare you make me do
Right.
this job? Like, what if you read that someone working in a packaging job was saying, fuck your packages, I'm gonna stomp on them. You'd be like, what the hell?
Right. Like, I have this friend, his name's Erwin, since growing up. He actually, his family owns restaurants. They're Mexican restaurants. I can't remember what city. I feel terrible for this. But I forgot what city. But they own a chain of Mexican restaurants. They've done very well for themselves with that. He comes from a very hardworking family. His parents are very hardworking. They've come up. They live very comfortably, and so does he. And imagine that you're not only because he works at them as well, but you have to manage them. You have to deal. You're the last resort. Like the people who come in the worst mood, they ask for you.
Right.
You know, you're
always
in charge.
ask for the manager.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't believe I've ever seen him once, like, blatantly degrade any of his customers who have come in and then, you know, some crazy, you know, shit in his restaurant or whatever, you know?
Right.
Very respectful, right?
I think that's like maturity too.
I think it does, and that's what I'm saying. It's like I don't think it ever needs to get to the level to where it's getting now with servers.
And you go on Facebook, like you can think these things.
Right.
Like we're not saying you cannot. Like go ahead, you know.
Right.
I have been a manager and I've had to call cops on customers, and I never went on Facebook.
I've been like, I had to call the cops on so and so.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, that's kind of like a private thing that I could talk shit about in my head. But I'm not, it's just so different to just scream it out in the public.
Right, and not only to mention that if you had a bigger status, you know, somebody could literally call your job and be like, "Look what she's posting." Like,
yeah, you know,
get fired.
And we've had people that we've known not been able to get jobs
because of stuff like that.
Because of putting stuff on Facebook like that.
Exactly, they lost a really good paying job. I think it was like.
It was pretty good for the qualifications that they had. It
was a really good paying job, and they weren't able to get it because of the stuff that they were posting on Facebook.
And people have even told that person, you know, stop that. And
Be cool.
Yeah. And I used to post stupid shit. I mean, maybe I do.
We all have. That's the thing. But it's the thing about moving forward. I think we all have a checkered past. Everybody's got, you know, things we're not proud of. But it's about being able to move forward. You know, and not, you know, get things so monkey,
and then like,
you
I
know?
Stop that. It's like, I need to stop putting the shit on Facebook. I need to stop letting people know.
I mean, you still kind of do sometimes.
No, I don't.
You still kind of do sometimes.
But, yeah, you come to some mental realization that you should really not do that anymore.
She said, I used to. You know, you still do a little bit. Anyways, yeah, I mean, I really want to pass off the question to you guys. How do you think it is? I really want to hear from people who are working in the service industry. Let us know what your opinion on it is. We're willing to hear it out, and
Let
in
us
the
know.
future, yeah.
Let us know.
I think
you can tell us, fuck you too.
I technically have tipped the bill plenty of times before, right? But it's something that you don't do every day.
Like, you don't demand it either.
Yeah, and you don't demand it either, you know? Yeah. It's one of those days where let's see how, you know, I guess, so to speak, that Goldilocks situation, you know, it has to be the right situation. There's the right circumstances to merit such, you know, such gratitude, you know? Because that's what it is. It's gratuity. You're showing how grateful you are for the way that, you know, your service was.
You know, some people are assholes, and they don't tip.
Yeah.
Like, we get that.
Because I think one time I had gone to Chinatown. It's crazy. And I had gone with my brother, and I had gone with my mom, and I took him for hot pot in Chinatown, and we're eating and all that. And my brother Mario ended up handing me money right near the end of the dinner.
Okay.
And he's like, oh, you know, here you go, you know. Normally when we go out to eat, like let's say I'm paying for the dinner, or my dad's paying for the dinner, we'll usually either one of us will tip, or we'll all of us together will chip in, and we'll all tip, you know, the waiter or whatever, right? So that day I thought that my brother was handing me over like, hey, here's the tip, right? All right. You know, I took the money, didn't think of it, and as we're getting up, I grabbed the same amount of money that my brother had given me, and I handed it to the waitress. And I said, here you go. Thank you for your service. You know, have a good day. We walked out, and my brother's like, whoa, I can't believe you just handed that. You know, what the hell? And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, dude, that was $120. Our bill was like $80.
Oh, my God.
All right. And I paid the $80 bill, you know, on my card, right?
Why did he give you that then?
All right. And then on top of that, you know, I go and I give this lady $120. Like, I'm thinking it was just a tip, you know? Boom. This lady had the happiest day of her life. Yes, it was amazing.
Bet you.
Yeah. And my brother's like, yo, I'm like, well, how much was it? He's like, dude, that was $120. Like, what do you know, what the hell? And I was like, oh, dude, I thought you were just handing me the tip. You know, I was going to cover the bill. He's like, no, I was going to cover the bill. You covered the tip. So it was a miscommunication.
Oh.
So I was like, damn. I'm like, well, let me give you the difference at least. You know, the
Right.
bill was only $80, man. Let me
Right.
at least give you the difference, bro. And he was like, no, it's fine. It
Made her day.
made her day. And my brother Mario's like that. He's very generous, always looking to help out. And he was like, oh, you know, just leave it alone. Just made her day. It just blew his mind that I was just like, here you go. $120, and her bill was, you know, $80. So not only I paid the bill, then she got $120.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, she did do great service.
Yeah,
you know,
good.
and you never know when that server is going through a really bad month, and they're managing to still have a great attitude,
Yeah.
a great outlook on life, and that was just like a wow. You know, God, thank you for looking out for me. You know.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think that those moments are great. But I also don't think that, I guess, karma or energies work in the way where somebody who's ungrateful and is usually posting crap on Facebook like that, or overall just saying it verbally, is going to be merited such a great exchange of gratitude, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I
That's
think you
true.
need to have a better outlook on it. But then again, you know, I want to know, has the environment changed? I haven't been a server in many years. Have people really just become bad tippers? You know?
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know either. So that's why I said, let's hand the question off to, you know, the servers out there, to all the people who are working, you know, any job that you have to deal with customers, you know, it's difficult.
It's rough.
You know, that life of the customer's always right. You know, it's a rough ride.
Oh, some people are nice about it and some people take advantage. But you know what? I worked as a manager and at a fast food, and people don't have to tip. It's like not normal to tip. And somebody once tipped me $10.
$10. How much was an order?
I don't know. It was like $30 order, you know. But they didn't even have. It was $10.
And you didn't do the delivery. You were there you were
Yeah,
like
they
there.
walked in. In the mornings, the managers was by themselves because it was kind of slow. So I made the pizza. I took his order, made the pizza, you know, gave it to him. And he was like, "Oh, that was really fast." Because I think it was like 5 pizzas. I think their order might have been a little bit higher, but I made it super fast. He was like, "Oh, you're already done? I literally just called you." Oh, yeah. He gave me $10. I was so happy because you don't ever expect a tip when you work that job and you're a manager. It just never happens. Every once in a while, someone will give you like $1,
Right.
and you'll be like really happy. But this person gave me $10.
That's good, especially when like you don't even deserve a tip, right?
Yeah, I
But
couldn't
do you
believe
go
it.
to every day? You
And
didn't go
expect it?
You're like, man, I
No.
better have a customer walk in today and give me $10 because I'm gonna need that. Like, no, you don't.
No, I didn't. And I think that even makes it even happier.
Right.
That when you don't expect it, you don't demand it. When it happens, you just feel so much happy.
It's the right moment.
That made my day. That $10.
Yeah, I mean, $10 you didn't really need to get that day.
And you
Just
know,
came-
for that job, I don't know if I should. That's how I was making per hour at that time. So he gave me an hour's worth of work.
You're like, here's an extra hour. Yeah, but yeah, let's find out what other people have to say about this. This is something that I really want to talk about later on. You know, it's definitely a topic that I think needs to be explored because we can't right away jump to the fact that it is 100% people being entitled, and we also can't jump to the conclusion that customers have become bad tippers, and that's just, you know, current situation right now. I don't want to jump to either conclusion. I want to find other people's opinions on it because, like I said, you know, it is a tough biz, but, you know, somebody's got to do it.
Yeah.
We need servers. We need people who do that kind of stuff, and they deserve our respect equally as any other profession, just as much as the doctor, just as much as the lawyer.
Right.
You know, you got to have equal amount of respect. So we're all human beings on this planet, you
We're
know?
all humans with all problems.
Exactly. So, you know, I really want to find out a little bit more. Hopefully we hear from you guys. Yeah, I really want to end the show by reminding you guys to please go to Home Cut Donuts.
I thought you were going to say our socials.
No, before we do our socials, I really want people to know about our month sponsor, Home Cut Donuts.
Yes. Thank you once again, Home Cut Donuts, for being our sponsor for this month and letting us do our photo shoot there. You can get them in Joliet, Best Donuts. You know,
and you can find them at
815 West Jefferson in Joliet, and also 1317 East Washington Street in Joliet.
Yeah, and if you guys are ever, you know, in Joliet to see a show like for Phil's, because he usually does stuff in Joliet over at the Forge, I believe, is what the name of the place is called now. It used to be Mojo's. If you're ever out there, you had a little bit of a long night, you're trying to pick up a little something sweet, stop at Home Cut Donuts on Jefferson. It's open 24/7. Yeah, 24/7. And they got really good donuts. They make them there. These aren't commercial donuts or anything like that. Why go give your business somewhere else to those big, competitors? We won't even say their names. Yeah, Duncan who? Duncan who? No, go to Home Cut Donuts. Support your small businesses. These people actually, strive to make great things for the community, as well as, giving you a great product that's not,
and for a really good price.
Please go support them. Definitely check them out 24/7. I'm telling you, you guys won't be disappointed.
No.
Go to Home Cut Donuts on Jefferson, as well on the Washington, and that's in Joliet, Illinois.
Yeah.
All right. And also, don't forget to follow us on Two Sushi Rolls on Instagram. You could also follow me on Twitter at Ocarina Villain, because she used to be Ocarina Hero.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I'm the villain then. And you could also go on to Facebook, as always, where you're watching this right now. Two Sushi Rolls Podcast. Please be sure to share that. And now we are on YouTube. So please, guys, please go to our channel and subscribe. That would really help out. The moment we start getting more subscribers on YouTube and likes and all that kind of stuff, that's another source of income that we actually have for the show to be able to continue to create content for you guys. And we should be having a guest this upcoming Saturday. We're gonna have a guest. We're still trying to figure out the time, but he is a Chicago musician. If you don't know who he is, you've probably seen him perform in some of the most major, pretty more trendy bars in Chicago. Okay. It's DJ Adorio Luis Rivera from Chicago. Really cool guy. When I talked to him about his new tracks he's been releasing with him and his buddy, I think they do kind of like a collaboration called ADLX, if I'm correct.
Okay.
So we're going to have him on the show, have him come in and talk to him a little bit about his music, how the scene is going, and, I kind of want to know what are the places to actually go to where it doesn't get too crazy. He would know that. He's all over the place. So make sure you guys join us this upcoming Saturday. We're going to have him as a guest. We're going to talk to you guys a little bit about some current events Leslie has found. And we're going to tell you guys we'll give you guys the results of what the actual price of the
house
was, and maybe we'll try to even get our friend Bree on the line so she can kind of explain the situation a little bit better, and hopefully we can get these audio issues figured out. Don't lose hope in us. We're trying to do this. All right, guys. We appreciate all the love and support. Love all you guys who have, even if you clicked on the stream for a little bit, or all the people who are busy who told us that, they're working, but they're going to catch, the episode. Don't forget, you could always find us on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, your smart home devices.
And YouTube.
And YouTube now.
Yay.
So if you didn't get to catch us for the live feed, make sure that you join us for the post recording on any of those sites. And happy 420. I hope you guys are blazing. That was a baby ass head. I'm gonna get made fun of for that. All right, but definitely, guys. That wasn't THC, by the way. All right. It's CBD. I swear to God, it's CBD. That vape juice. Anyways, guys, happy 420. You guys have a good one, and we'll see you guys on the next one. See you later.
Thank you.